Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses, a religious group seen as either a denomination or cult, reported around 8.6 million members in 2023. They believe in the imminent destruction of the world at Armageddon and the establishment of God's kingdom. Emerging from Charles Taze Russell's Bible student movement in the late 1870s, they are known for door-to-door preaching and refusing blood transfusions, even when critically ill, rejecting the immortality of the soul and hellfire as unscriptural. They also avoid holidays like Christmas and Easter. Critics accuse them of indoctrinating members and fostering fear of the outside world, promoting a belief that only faithful members will be saved. The culture of strict rule adherence and ostracization creates a dangerous groupthink environment. Most members are afraid to voice criticism, suppressing doubt, because they are scared of losing their relationship with friends and relatives. The governing body sets doctrines without tolerating dissent, expelling those who disagree. Jehovah's Witnesses have faced criticism for coercion, shunning, and mishandling cases of sexual abuse. The Ant Hill Kids. The Ant Hill Kids was a notorious doomsday cult founded by Roch Thériault in the mid-1970s in Quebec. Initially based on Seventh-day Adventist beliefs, Thériault convinced followers to join his commune, promising unity and a sin-free life. After being expelled from the church, he isolated his followers, warning of an impending apocalypse. Relocating the commune to a remote mountainside, he became increasingly abusive after his doomsday predictions failed. Thériault married and impregnated 9 women, fathering over 20 children. His sadistic punishments included beatings, forcing members to break their own legs. He defecated on them and making them sit on lit stoves or eat dead mice. In 1989, after torturing and performing fatal amateur surgeries, one woman escaped and alerted authorities. The cult dissolved, and Thériault was imprisoned for assault and second-degree murder, eventually being killed by an inmate in 2011. The Order of Nine Angles. The Order of Nine Angles, or O9A, is a militant, satanic, and occultist network from the United Kingdom with a global presence. Known for extreme Satanist beliefs, O9A combines mystical Hermeticism and traditional Satanism, encouraging illegal activities to break cultural conditioning. The group advocates human sacrifice and urges members to infiltrate anarchist, neo-Nazi, or Islamist groups to destabilize society. Gaining notoriety in the early 1980s for its neo-Nazi ideology, O9A has been linked to far-right figures and terrorist organizations, promoting terrorism and homicide. They also engage in leaking classified information, stockpiling weapons, and planning assassinations. Numerous sexual abuse cases, including of a 14-year-old girl, are associated with O9A. The group operates in autonomous cells, attracting white supremacists and troubled individuals through online materials, with an estimated 2,000 affiliates worldwide. Children of God. The Children of God was founded in 1968 by David Berg in Huntington Beach, California. Originally a Christian commune, it promoted communal living and free love, attracting many young people during the counterculture movement of the 1960s. Berg gained a devoted following, presenting himself as a prophet with direct revelations from God. In the 1970s, Berg introduced flirty fishing, a practice where female members used sex to recruit new members and supporters, claiming it was a way to demonstrate God's love. This practice, along with Berg's increasingly authoritarian leadership, led to widespread accusations of sexual exploitation and abuse. The group's teachings often included unconventional and controversial views on sex, marriage, and family. Berg's letters, known as the Elmo letters, provided guidance and directives to his followers, promoting practices that often led to the breakdown of traditional family structures. As the group expanded internationally, it faced numerous allegations of child abuse, including testimonies from former members who recounted their experiences of being sexually abused as children within the group. These allegations led to investigations and legal actions in various countries after Berg's death in 1994. His wife took over leadership, and they shifted focus towards missionary work and humanitarian efforts. Parhamites. The Parhamites were followers of Charles Parham, an influential figure in the early 20th century Pentecostal movement. Parham, a former Methodist preacher, founded the Bethel Bible College in Topeka, Kansas. He is best known for promoting the idea that speaking in tongues was the initial evidence of the baptism of the Holy Spirit, a belief that became central to Pentecostalism. Parham claimed that all sickness and insanity were caused by demon possession. He conducted and ordered violent exorcisms to heal individuals. One particularly horrific incident involved an elderly woman with rheumatism. Parham attempted to heal her by breaking most of her bones, which resulted in her death. In another case, a teenage boy with typhoid fever was subjected to a brutal procedure where tools were shoved down his throat and his tongue was cut out, leading to his death. There are reports of up to 12 other victims of such violent exorcisms, although many details were suppressed. Parham promoted the idea that faith alone could cure illnesses and discouraged followers from seeking medical help. This led to preventable suffering and deaths among his followers who relied solely on prayer for healing. Parham also held and promoted racist views. He believed in racial segregation and made derogatory comments about African Americans. Despite the interracial nature of the early Pentecostal movement, his attitudes caused significant controversy. In 1907, Parham was arrested on charges of committing unnatural offenses with young boys. Although he was never convicted, the scandal severely damaged his reputation and credibility. These allegations suggested serious ethical and possibly criminal issues in his conduct. His movement fragmented after his death in 1929. The Manson family. The Manson family was a cult led by Charles Manson in the late 1960s in California. Manson, a charismatic musician, attracted a group of young followers with his apocalyptic teachings and promises of a utopian future. Manson preached about an impending race war, which he called Helter Skelter, a term he borrowed from a Beatles song. He convinced his followers that they were destined to survive this war and emerge as leaders of a new social order, using a mix of drugs, psychological manipulation, and charismatic control. In 1969, Manson orchestrated a series of brutal murders. The most infamous was the murder of actress Sharon Tate and 4 others at her Los Angeles home. These killings were intended to incite the race war Manson had prophesied. Manson and several of his followers were arrested and subsequently convicted of the murders. Manson was sentenced to life in prison, where he remained until his death in 2017. INC, Iglesia ni Cristo, founded in 1914 by Felix Manalo in the Philippines, is led by an executive minister with absolute authority. Questioning the leadership can result in immediate expulsion and shunning, creating a climate of fear and obedience. He is believed to be an angel from God. Members are required to give substantial financial contributions. Failure to do so can lead to public shaming and ostracization within the church community. Inc. isolates members from non-members, including family. The church exerts control over personal lives, including who members can marry and socialize with. Former members report harassment, intimidation, and threats for speaking out against the church. Allegations of corruption and abuse within the leadership are often aggressively silenced. From a cult perspective, Inc.'s authoritarian control, financial demands, and aggressive suppression of dissent depict a highly controlling and potentially dangerous organization. Heavenly Jerusalem, or Shincheonji. Heavenly Jerusalem, also known as Shincheonji Church of Jesus, is a South Korean religious movement founded by Lee Man-hee in 1984. Shincheonji recruits members through deceptive practices, often hiding their true affiliation. They infiltrate other churches and social groups to attract new followers. Lee Man-hee, the leader, claims to be the promised pastor of the New Testament and the second coming of Jesus, demanding absolute loyalty and obedience from his followers. Members are encouraged to cut ties with non-believing family and friends. The church exerts significant control over their personal lives, including living arrangements and finances. Shincheonji is known for its secretive and manipulative practices. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the church gained international notoriety. Its secretive nature and refusal to cooperate with authorities were linked to a significant outbreak in South Korea, leading to widespread criticism and legal action.